Customer came into the bike shop the other day and he was going on and on and on about the brand new Orbea Ois, the 2023, the one that they just released. He had cash in hand. He was wanting to spend, I think it was around $8,000 or $9,000 to buy this brand new Ois, and Orbea offers the Mayo program where you can customize your bike, do special paint on it, put your name on it. It's pretty cool. And if you're gonna spend that much money, why wouldn't you just do the Mayo as well? Now, keep in mind that Orbea just announced this brand new bike the day before said customer calls the bike shop. So, I get his information, I talk with our sales rep, and come to find out there's probably about a 10% chance we might actually see the bike that the customer wants. This is kind of industry-wide with certain availabilities, but we'll get to that. We'll get back to Orbea in a second. But first, if you enjoy this kind of content, please let me know if you want me to keep doing kind of bike industry updates. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification just so you know when something new does come out. That also helps with the algorithm. Make a comment down below. Down below. So pretty much every single company has been affected by the shipping catastrophe that was kind of perpetuated by the shutdowns. What we are seeing now in the industry is just a few hard to get items, but what got a little interesting is recently companies have received a swath of backlogged bikes, and a lot of companies seem to be overstocked with specific models. Like Salsa, for instance, we didn't see Salsa for probably the entire shutdown period. I mean, it was like 2 years we didn't see a single new Salsa in the bike shop, and now all of a sudden they have tons of inventory of specific models, and they are just really pushing for people to buy them, really almost begging, because they got to get rid of these things, because at this point they're almost an old model. So now, let's quickly go back to the Orbea Ois situation that I was speaking on, and I have to preface Orbea, I love you guys. I race an Orbea Ois. In my opinion, it is the best XC race bike I have ever thrown a leg over. Our sales rep is freaking awesome. The inside guys are awesome. The warranty department is awesome. What do I not like about Orbea currently? It's definitely the transparency between Orbea, the dealers, and the customer. And I get it, Orbea. I get it. Because inventory forecasting is extremely difficult right now. Materials are getting very hard to source, and Orbea is really trying to be as fair as possible. They told us what we are getting next year for 2023. Now, 2022's, again, that whole backlog thing, they're available right now. They are all on sale. If you want an Occam or an Ois, I believe all the 2022s, which is the same frame going back about 3 years, it's on sale right now. The 2023s, though, we are told what we are getting as an Orbea dealer. Basically, the way it worked was they looked at what we sold last year, did a little guesstimation work, and said, bam, this is what you get. Now, we can say no to those bikes, but we can't actually really change them. This guy that called in, he really wanted a custom bike. We were allotted a one large Orbea Ois in that bike, and he needed an extra large. So he is essentially out of luck. The only thing that he could do is find out which shop is getting an extra large, buy that bike, then drive to that shop and pick it up when it arrives, because we are not allowed to ship bikes. And you can see where this can get a little annoying when Orbea makes it seem like you can just, you're moments away from getting your brand new Orbea custom frame or custom bike. Let's take a look at their website so you know what I mean, and this is the whole transparency issue in my opinion. Let's actually try to order a bike and I can show you what it looks like. Alright, get to the Orbea website. Make sure you are in the Americas. I'm not in Canada. Bicycles, let's order us a brand new Ois. I love doing the custom Mayo program with these guys because it is pretty fun. You can spend too much time actually customizing your bikes here. Yeah, why not? I think I am ready to spend $11,000 on a new bicycle. Why not? Alright, let's go to personalize. Alright, personalization is actually pretty cool. You just come over here and you click on what color or what part of the bike you want to change, and you change the color. There's that. Let's see. Bam! You know, make it as ugly as humanly possible, because I'm not actually going to be ordering this thing. You can even click on like the rotors, change the size of the rotors if you want, put different brakes on it if you want. It's pretty cool. So, all right, we have officially made our ugly bike. Click buy. You have to choose size. So I'm gonna choose a medium. First name, Cam Bam. So let's just say I've spent, 20 minutes making this bike. I'm ready to purchase. I have cash in my hand and I'm ready to feed it into the computer. So we've got the size here. So in the US, these are the bike shops that are getting this bike. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Mayo Ois M Limiteds coming to the US. And here they are. So, a couple Wisconsins, got a Minnesota, a couple Utahs. So like the Southeast is screwed if you want this bike, essentially, because the bike shops are technically not allowed to ship a brand new bicycle, correct? Selling to local bike shops would be an entirely different story. Why don't these people want to ship? That's way too much to get into here, but we're not supposed to sell. Basically, if we were allowed to sell on the internet, then one giant bike shop could potentially just buy all the bikes from a certain brand, keep them in a warehouse somewhere, and sell them online. Almost kind of like scalping tickets, I guess, if you want to think of it that way. And that's why they don't allow for a nice bike brand. You're not supposed to sell it online. You can get your dealership pulled. That's why we don't sell it online. So let's say that guy wanted the extra large Ois, and here's his options, So when you see this and you go, okay, well, they can't ship, all these places are hell and gone from here, I would have to drive a really long way to pick up this bicycle that I would purchase. Let me call my local bike shop because maybe they can just order it for me. And you're still waiting till like spring to summer to pick your bicycle up. Now I'm saying all of this more for your benefit, because the number one thing that kills me about the bike industry is the lack of transparency and the honesty between the brands, the dealers, and the consumers. It's something that we have really strived for at the bike shop. We try to be as honest with customers as possible. If you were just honest with your customers, I would say 90% of them seem to understand and will reciprocate. You're still gonna have that 10% that's just buttholes, but you can't do anything about them, so don't stress about it. And I believe that Orbea is trying to do this to keep it fair for all dealers, which is noble of you, but really is putting a bad taste in some customers' mouths when they feel like the website led them to believe that these bikes were readily available. Again, this is just one small case of companies being stuck between a rock and a hard place and just trying to keep their business afloat. Orbea lost a sale. Now, he's a good customer of ours. I'm sure he's gonna come back and eventually purchase another bike. I wouldn't say we lost a sale there, but Orbea definitely did, because now he's gonna go start looking at maybe a Trance or an Anthem, something that is readily available that he can get. Half of the people that I know that have come into the bike shop have gotten pretty good at knowing that new bikes they're gonna have to wait for. As long as they can get it within 6 months, most people seem to be okay with that. We have a lot of people coming in right now wanting a bike for summer. I think it's getting better, but when Orbea comes out with a brand spanking new Ois, and then you have to tell the person that you can't physically buy that bike easily, it's a weird situation, Orbea is not the only one. For instance, Cane Creek just put all of their Helm forks on sale for all consumers to buy straight off their website for less than what the dealer pays. And no discounts for the dealers. If we were to go onto the B2B website and try to order one for a customer, that customer would actually be paying more money if we sold it to them for cost. So if you're a bike shop with a Helm sitting on your parts wall, you're gonna be hanging on to it for a while longer, since Jimbo down the street just paid $10 less than what you did for the thing. And I'm not saying this to scare you away from buying a new bike or to really hound on Orbea or any of these other companies. I just really wanted to stress how friggin' weird the bike industry is at the moment and how it is going to be for the next year. I predict that there will be a lot of stuff going on sale because these companies are just simply over inventoried. They have such big back orders that they are just now getting in because of this shipping crisis that we went through.
And because of this, you have a situation like Orbea, where they have all these 2022s they need to get rid of because they have already released and announced the 2023s, except they are afraid of what the future holds and have went very conservative on those bikes as far as ordering goes.
I would say if you want a new bicycle, you get what you can. It's not as bad as it was. If you want an Anthem now, you can get an Anthem, but it might not be the exact spec or colorway. It's getting better, is where I'm going with this, but it's still weird. So when you go into your local bike shop and they tell you that even though the internet says, please buy our bicycle right now, it's available right now, we just released it, it's brand spanking new, and you want to put money down, that does not guarantee that that bike shop will even see it in a year's time. If you have a good local bike shop, they will be honest with you. They will tell you the state of the current ordering process, and you just have to work with them. It's definitely a process now. When you go in somewhere and you say, I want this bike, you're not always guaranteed that that's the one that you're gonna get or can get. You know, you might have to be steered in another direction. I think this has been the most interesting time to be in the bike industry because you have all of this going on, and then on the other side of things, you have this war going on between Specialized and Trek. If you read Bicycle Retailer at all, it's every freaking week one of those big companies is buying another branch of bike shops. And I'm curious where this is going. I've got some thoughts on it. I've been interested in it for a while. Again, I'm not the head of some giant company like those guys are, but I've also seen what happened to a lot of these other bicycle chains, and most of the time they don't last. Like, look at what happened to Performance Bikes, man. I'm curious where this is gonna go, but that would make this video entirely too long. I just wanted to at least show you guys how the ordering process is probably gonna end up for next year. So if you have any questions, post them below. I will answer to the best of my abilities. I hope this wasn't too convoluted, but that's what you get. I love you all. See you in the next one. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.